Hi friends, in the previous videos we have seen about gravity, electromagnetism and strong force. In this video we'll see about the most intriguing and entrancing fundamental force, the weak force. Sun is the most significant source of energy. It's known that hydrogen nuclei undergoes fusion process to form helium, and in the process a huge amount of energy is released. But one significant step in this process is the formation of deuterium. When two hydrogen nuclei combine together, one proton converts into a neutron through weak force by a process known as beta decay, and this neutron combines with the other proton to form deuterium. Now let's see how weak force works in this process. In a beta minus decay, neutron transforms into a proton and is accompanied by emission of electron and an antineutrino. And in beta plus decay, a proton transforms into a neutron and a neutrino and positron are emitted in the process. Weak force makes this possible by changing the flavor of the quarks. As in a beta plus decay, a up quark in a proton is converted to down quark and a down quark is converted to up quark in a beta minus decay. In this way, decay processes are mediated by the weak force. Enrico Fermi, the physicist after whom the fermions are named, was the first person to propose a theory of weak interactions, which are involved in a beta decay, and he also spoke about the emission of neutrino in the process, which was later found to be an antineutrino. This theory wasn't widely accepted at that time. However, this was very successful even after various amendments. Carrier particles of weak forces are W and Z boson. W boson is of two types, W plus and W minus. Beta plus and beta minus decays involve these bosons, and the uncharged neutrinos interact with each other through the neutrally charged Z boson. This was found in 1983 at CERN, nearly about 50 years after the Fermi's theory. Though these are bosons like photons, the larger mass as compared to photons make the weak force to act relatively much smaller distances of the order of 10 to the power minus 17 meters. Weak force acts on quarks and the leptons. Now, in order to understand the behavior of the weak force, let's see about the handedness of particles and the symmetries of physics. Right-handed particles are those which have the spin along the direction of motion, and left-handed particles have the spin opposite to the direction of motion. The symmetries in physics are transformations, which are charge conjugation C, which substitutes the particle with its antiparticles, parity P, which transforms the right-handed system to a left-handed system, and time reversal T, which reverses the direction of time. The three fundamental forces other than the weak force doesn't differentiate between particle or antiparticle or doesn't care about handedness of particles or about in which direction the time is flowing. Now let's see about the weak force. In the 1950s, two scientists Lee and Yang recommended that experiments could prove the weak forces would violate parity. In 1956, Madame Wu, an exceptional physicist, performed an experiment to see whether weak force differentiate left and right. Wu's experiment was to polarize cobalt-60 nuclei and align the spins along an axis, and then to find the direction of emission of electrons. It was found that electrons were emitted always in the direction opposite to that of the nuclear spin. In the real world, the electrons are emitted opposite to the direction of the nuclear spin. So under parity transformation, electrons are emitted along the spin direction. So this clearly shows that the weak interaction differentiates between mirror and the real worlds. In order to balance the momentum, we see that the antineutrinos are always emitted in a direction opposite to that of the electron emission. So we observe them to be emitted along the nuclear spin. So all the antineutrinos are right-handed and the neutrinos are left-handed. This was such an astounding result which proved that parity is violated in weak interactions. Experimental results also proved that C and T symmetries are violated in weak interaction. There was another experiment investigating neutral kaon decay performed by physicists Cronin and Fitch. Neutral kaon k naught and its antiparticle k naught bar are considered to be superposition of Kl and Ks eigenstates. Here, Kl long-lived type has a decay time of 51 nanoseconds and Ks short-lived type has a decay of 89 picoseconds. Kl has odd Cp value and decays into 3 pions. Ks with even Cp value decays into 2 pions. For the experiment, beryllium was used as a target and the decays were studied over a 17-meter long beamline. Given the decay time of K-short type, it was thought that only 3 pion decays would be detected at the end of the beamline. But out of 22,700 Kl decays, nearly 45 were found to be 2 pion decays, which is approximately 1 in 500 decays. This proved that weak interaction violated CP symmetry. It is believed that when Big Bang occurred, equal amounts of particles and antiparticles were created. But the amount of antimatter present in the current day universe is very minimal as compared to matter. One of the major reasons for this asymmetry, as scientists believe, is due to the CP violation. With current knowledge, it's not possible to fully understand this asymmetry. Much more findings in the field will give us a better understanding of our universe. Hope you got an idea about weak forces. We'll reach you with another interesting video at the earliest.